Hey there, I'm Christy Wilhelmi from Gardenerd. We are in the heart, or the jungle, I should say, of the Gardenerd headquarters container garden. This is where we have tree kale and tomatoes and pineapple, lemongrass, and a bunch of other stuff. And these artichokes have been in this pot for many years. They did not do well this year. They didn't even grow very big, as you can see. They've also lost a lot of soil. And the reason why that happened is because this pot got plugged up and then flooded. And so as I was draining out the soil by tipping it over, it lost a lot of soil, but it's also still plugged down there. So I need to revitalize this pot and replant these artichokes so that maybe I'll get even some late artichokes this year. So I'm going to show you how to revitalize a potted perennial crop that you can use for any herbs or any plants that you have that need to stay in the same pot for years and years. Let's see how it goes. Oh, and side note, I'm wearing my bee suit because anytime I work, well, first of all, my beehive is right over there, and anytime I'm working near or in the lemongrass or this lime geranium I have, the bees get very upset because lemongrass mimics the queen's pheromones. So if I brush up against it, they start coming over and the guard bees get all upset, and so I'm gonna put on my bee suit. So let's do that and get started. I know, it's so attractive. You want one, don't you? So fashionable. All right, first thing I'm gonna do is glove up and move my drip irrigation out of the way. I love these little bubblers because you can change how much water comes out. You just twist on, twist off, and it makes a little fountain. And you can determine per pot which, what kind of water they need. Now, I know these artichokes are stressed because they have aphids all over them at this young age, which is usually not the case. So these definitely need to be replanted. Of course, my hand trowel's over there. But what I'm going to do is loosen the soil all around, lift this out as a 1-unit root ball, and then put in some new soil and to see how it goes from there. Okay, hand trowel in hand, I'm just gonna kind of loosen around the edge of the pot, pulling in a little bit. So far I have not encountered any root ball at all. Now, artichokes are taproot, so they're very likely down through the drainage hole. That's why we had a drainage problem in the first place. And as I lift, you can see it just kind of wants to lift up a little bit, which is good. I don't want to break it, I just want to lift it out. And the mother plant, I may end up losing one of these, but the mother plant is still very productive. Oh, hi, spider. You should go somewhere else. Here, let's move you. Boop. There you go. All right, let's get this. I feel like this is coming out separately. Yeah, you see the long roots on this. They rotted, and so, yeah, but they're still alive, so we're gonna set that aside for right now. And now this guy, also coming up. This is actually in a couple of pieces. Here we go. Look at this. This has been in here for a long time. Wow. It's pretty impressive, huh? And then this guy, still very young. So these may suffer a bit of a setback. They may not produce this year at all. Next, though, I'm going to dig down and make sure I've cleared the drainage hole, because that's the whole problem here. If you need to, it's probably best to just dump out the existing soil into a trough planter and then add fresh soil from there. This soil is still in pretty good condition, though, but I'm gonna try dumping some of it out. Yeah, all right, let's set that there. Set this here. I feel good about this, not really. There's some old roots, you can see that. And as we get down here to the bottom, you start to see what's clogging up the pot. There's an old school way of thinking about putting a piece of pottery on the bottom of a pot, but research has shown that that's actually a really good way to cause flooding in your pot. So you don't need to do this anymore. So that's going away. And as I get down here, I see there's lots of healthy worms around in here, and the pot isn't all that plugged. There are some roots that grew through. Pull all that out. Loosen this up, find the drainage hole, make sure it's clear, and it is. And now we can add fresh soil. I happen to have a stash of bulk potting soil left over from a garden installation that I did last month. So we're going to start with that. And it's got lots of perlite in it, so that's going to help, which is essential for containers. That's going to help improve drainage. I'm going to mix it up. Oh, and there's a grub. Find that grub. I lost him. All right, well, I'm mixing old soil in with new. There he is. Grubs. These are the babies, the larvae of Japanese green beetles if you're on if you're east of the Mississippi, and if you're west of the Mississippi, it's June green beetles or fig beetles that make these. We feed them to our chickens. These are safe because we're west of the Mississippi. These are safe to feed to chickens. Japanese green beetle grubs are not safe to feed chickens, so don't give them to them. This guy is going to go in this bucket and feed the chickens later. Dumping almost all of this back in because the root ball is not that big. Okay, now I want to make sure my pot is stationed pretty level with a little bit of room for drainage underneath. So I'm going to prop, where'd that rock go? Now that's what this piece of pottery could be used for, is to prop up the edge so that there's some drainage underneath. Put it under the pot, and yeah, then it'll be happy. I'm going to put it over here. It's not really level, but I can level it later. As long as there's something underneath it to give some airflow, we're good. All right, so now, this is pretty bad, and I don't have my shears, so that's still alive. Some of these are old and rotten, so I'm gonna pull them off. Whew, yeah, and there's that anaerobic smell from when it was damaged by rot. I'm not gonna break this big piece off because I think it's still carrying a lot of the plant's energy, so I'm just going to bury this. I've got 3 plants, so I'm going to, really, honestly, this pot is big enough for 1, but I want to hedge my odds. Actually, this guy I should probably just leave out, but it's the mother plant, so I'm putting it back in. Okay, that's 1. We don't want to bury it too deep so that you can still see that guy back there. These, by the way, are a very special artichoke. They're called the Winnetka Purple Artichoke that were bred by Craig Ruggless of Winnetka Farms here in Southern California. And they're not available commercially for sale. He bred them, he brought them to the seed library that I belong to and gave out seeds and plants, and we all grew them out, and we've been trying to save seeds from them since, but these unfortunately don't really produce seeds, or at least haven't so far with anyone I've spoken with. So again, break off some of the stuff that's definitely rotted away, and these new roots will form good branching segments here. So we've got 3 artichokes in here. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to return the drip irrigation right to the middle here, so they will get evenly watered. Now, the first thing I'm going to do though, now that I've transplanted these is that I'm going to water them with kelp emulsion, because kelp emulsion helps ease transplant shock. So they're going to need it, especially now that the sun is starting to come out. So let me do that, and when we're done. All right, I have some kelp extract mixed with water here. I'm not going to fertilize until these show new signs of life, and then I will fertilize them. And at some point I will cut this guy down, but I want to keep it here for now so that this little guy in the back can start to grow. Kelp emulsion is also taken in by the leaf surfaces, so it's okay to water them from overhead. Once again, this technique can be used for any of your perennial crops, herbs, etc. that are in pots that you plan on keeping in containers for a long time. It's really easy to dig them out and set them aside, add new soil, and then repot them in a way that doesn't disturb them too much. Keep the root ball intact and you're pretty much good to go. Everything that you transplant does have a 50-50 chance of survival, but this is the best way to do it so that you don't end up, so the odds are ever in your favor. If you like this video, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to find out when our next video comes online. Consider becoming a Patreon subscriber to support all the free stuff that we do here at Gardenerd, and you'll find information about growing vegetables like artichokes and tomatoes and a whole bunch of other things in my book, Gardening for Geeks. And check out my book on growing fruit in small spaces, Grow Your Own Mini Fruit Garden, and of course my novel, Garden Variety. Happy gardening!